Hey guys, hey, what's up? This is Chuck here from Hillside. Thank you for tuning in on this wonderful Sunday evening. See how we transported that? We're taping on Friday, but just like that, it's Sunday night. Isn't that how the weekends go? They just go like that. They just kaboom, bam, gone, out of here. So anyway, a couple weeks ago I went to the dentist, and the dentist said I had an issue with one of my teeth in the upper left-hand side of my mouth, and recommended that I put some baking powder on the end of the toothbrush every morning when I brush to kind of help get rid of the bacteria. I was like, no problem, doc, I got you. So this was going very well for the first few days until Saturday rolled around. I woke up and didn't bother to put my glasses on, went in the bathroom to brush my teeth, put what I thought was baking powder on there, started brushing, and immediately realized it wasn't baking powder. It was Gold Bond foot powder. Let me tell you, that's a taste you'll never get rid of. But here, you know what? There's good news about that. There's always a silver lining to everything. My teeth didn't itch all day. Anyway, so yeah, true story. So anyway, so how you guys doing today? I hope you guys had a great week, had a great weekend. Hope you guys got to get out and, you know, connect with people and and hang out and just enjoy life. You know, one of the great things that I really like to think about is when I go out to eat somewhere, you know, I kind of like to look around in the room and think about, you know, everybody else that's at that restaurant had the same exact thought. Hey, why don't we go eat at this place tonight? You know, and it's just really cool to see how, even though we don't know each other, most times most of us probably don't know each other in the room, but we're all connected by the very fact that we thought the same thing. You know, and it's just neat, and it's just wonderful. I just try to think all week about, you know, all the different ways we're connected. You know, excuse me, you know, we see on Facebook profiles all the time, we see how, you know, they list where they went to school, and they list where they work at, and they list all their friends, and they list all their families. And, you know, it just seems very important in social media that people really try to, you know, display all their connections with other people. You know, and I wish we could take that kind of excitement about our connections into the real world, and to see how we really are truly connected with each other. You know, my wife has my wife's mom actually made a family tree book, and I kid you not, it's about this thick. It's pretty thick. And it's just neat to go home. When I go home, sometimes I'll just open the book and start, you know, flipping through and looking and just seeing all the different connections, and see how this connection over here affects this connection over here, you know. And it's just neat to see all of that, you know, connection going together. You know, it's actually, true story, it's actually kind of cool, because she's actually a really distant relative to Bob Newhart, who everybody in the 70s and 80s was just a really funny guy. He was always depressed, always, you know, but hilarious. And there's a connection there. And I loved learning that. You know, it's just, when we don't try to find out how we're connected with each other, we miss so much of life. Because life really is about trying to show us how we are connected with each other. I put a sign up today because it's coming up. Actually, it's 2 years cancer-free. So I put a sign up, and it was amazing. I had 3 guys come up to me that I never knew, never had seen before, but had seen the sign and realized because of the sign that we were connected. You know, one guy was a cancer survivor for 18 years. And one guy's been a cancer survivor for 9 years. He had cancer when he was 15 and battled it for 3 years. 3 years. I would have never known that hadn't I put the sign up, hadn't I thrown out that idea. And you know, it's just crazy when we start to really realize how we are connected with each other, how conversations just come out of nowhere. It's great. People love to talk about how they're connected with people. You know, they always talk about high school reunions. Oh my gosh. You know, it's like when we get together for high school reunions, we always try to outdo each other. You know, we always try to, you know, but it's a connection, you know. It's where we went to school. It's what we take, you know, our hometown, you know. My wife has been out of her hometown for probably 20 plus years, but it's her hometown. It's her connections. It's just something that doesn't go away. It's just something that's still very much a part of her, you know. Even though she hasn't, you know, lived there in 20 plus years, it's still her home. It's still her hometown. She still has a lot of friends there. She has a lot of connections. It was cool when we went back last summer to visit that she kind of put like an impromptu reunion together at a coffee shop. She wasn't expecting more than 3 or 4 people to show up. It was probably 15 to 20 people that showed up because they were connected. They had that connection and they enjoyed that connection with each other. 20 plus years later, they still had things to talk about, still things they enjoyed about each other, things they enjoyed learning about each other, learning about all their excitement for life and similarities and even differences. You know, differences, believe it or not, differences really actually can connect us if it's done in a positive way. If it's done in a way to produce hate and division and whatever, that's no good. It's not going to work that way. But if we can use our differences to show us how we are connected, because even connections in a negative way can still come out positively if we choose to use that, if we choose to do it that way. You know, it's with family. You know, how are we connected with family? You know, a lot of families are disconnected anymore. You know, they're too busy on the social media. They're too busy doing this. They're too busy doing that. They're disconnected from each other and connected. They're more connected actually to each other through social media than they are in actual reality. You know, it's just boggling how this is all taken over. And I used to be a Facebook junkie. I mean, I would sit there until my thumb fell off and my eyes were going to burst out of my head just scrolling because I had to find out, you know, what was going on that day. You know, and then I got to thinking, you know what? It's not about that. I don't want to be connected to people through a screen, a scrolling screen. I want to be connected with people in real time, in real life. I want to sit down with people. I want to get to know people. I want to get to enjoy people. I want to get to just have the fun of fellowship, you know, and telling jokes or whatever, hanging out, you know, starting relationships, rebuilding relationships, making relationships stronger, whatever it is. That connection is just such a powerful thing. And Jesus knew that, and he taught that a lot, you know, because he liked connecting with people. He liked getting to meet people. He liked to go to people's houses. He liked to sit with people at the well. He liked to just sit with his disciples. He liked to just connect with them and and experience fellowship with them. And I'm telling you, the tale of history is much better than if he hadn't connected. If he had just come here and been like, okay, I'm going to come, I'm going to die, I'm going to rise again, I'm going to do all this, without actually really connecting. Look at how many lives would not have been changed if he had decided that he was not going to try to connect with people. You know, and that's what happens when when hate comes in. The first thing it tries to do is disconnect people. It tries to show people, everybody, our differences and say, because we're different, we can't get along. And it's not true. It's not true. I love having discussions with people that say my jokes suck. You know, usually I end up proving them wrong by the end of the conversation. Not really, but you know, not really, but in a fun way. You know, I like to encourage conversations. You know, and just moments of connectivity. You know, like I said, I've had so many wonderful conversations. Like I said, I used to talk to my friend Sam down at his cafe, and man, I just loved to hear all about his Christmas services and you know, his family in Lebanon and all that stuff. It's just amazing. It's amazing to me to see how much I get filled up when I connect with other people, you know. One of the greatest things that I enjoy at home when I'm with my wife is just that moment of connection, you know. It's just, we're sitting on the couch and the fireplace is going and the lights are off, and it's just wonderful. It's just a moment where we can just shut everything out and and just be connected with each other and just to just enjoy each other's company. And it's wonderful when we can sit down and break bread with each other and have a moment of real connection without all the junk that tries to come in and all the what ifs and all the you know, all the negative and all that stuff comes in, and we can actually have a true moment of connection. It's just wonderful. I mean, I just love it. I love talking to people that just randomly come up and start talking to me, you know, because I'm a pretty outgoing guy. I like to goof off a little bit and have some fun, except for when I'm here in the studio. Then it's all about the business. It's all professional in here. I don't crack any jokes in the studio. Right, Ethan? He just gave me a thumbs down. No, just kidding. Just kidding. But anyway, but it's just, isn't it just wonderful? I mean, like, when I'm sitting, like, when I had dinner with a really good friend on Wednesday, and it was just fun. It was just nice to connect and just hang out and chat and talk and get to know how each other's doing and how the week is going and how the grandbabies are growing, and, you know, because we have that connection. We have that connection through our grandkids, and I just love it. And we also have that connection because we're brothers. He's a brother to me, you know. And I just love it. I just love that time we can get away and just really try to turn the world off for a little bit and just have some connection. I know the world is fast-paced. I know the world, you know, crashes in quickly, and situations arise, and you know, and hostilities may come about, and, you know, sadness and hurt feelings, and but if we can really try to just connect without all of that, then all of that will be much more easier to endure because the connection is strong. You know, it's like a rope. You know, if you ever see how they make a rope, the more they put the twines in it, the stronger it is. Like if you see a little bitty rope, you probably could break it. But if you see one of those big ropes that they use for, like, I don't know what they use them for, but there's definitely the stronger the twine, the more it's wrapped, the stronger the rope is. So if we can picture ourselves and our connections as strings and twines that we are using to strengthen the rope, the bond between all of us, no matter who we are or where we're at or whatever's going on, then when turmoil comes and it tries to pull that rope, it's going to be strong. It's not going to break. There may be tension. I'm not saying that there won't ever be tension. And it may be pulled to the max. But if that connection is worked on and strengthened over time, I'm telling you, it's not going to break, you know. I have a lot of good friends that walked with me through my cancer stuff. I consider them twines in my rope. You know, they were there to help strengthen my rope. You know, so when time comes and struggles come and that tension and there's that rope is being pulled, I can have confidence in knowing, most times, I still struggle, but most times I have confidence knowing that the rope is not going to break because I've worked on it. You know, I've worked on it. I've made connections. I've allowed those connections to come in and be what they were really meant to be, you know, not an annoyance, you know, not something to disrupt my day or to, you know, get under my skin or whatever, but to use as a learning moment, you know, to build on that foundation of, you know, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. I mean, somebody walks up to me and says, I don't think it's going to be all right. You can't convince me of that. I will never believe that again. You know, I mean, it may take a while and it may be a struggle, but if you're working on that rope and you're working on the connections with people around you and you're building those relationships, when that time comes, you will be impenetrable. I mean, you will be able to say, seriously, you'll be able to say, you know what? I don't care what you say. You know, that means nothing to me. There's a fantastic song out there, and I love it, and I use it all the time, and I listen to it. It makes me cry almost every time I listen to it. It's from The Greatest Showman. It's called This Is Me, and it's just so profound because it's just, it starts out, she's got this one strand of rope. She's got this one little string, and it's being pulled because people are saying she's no good, she's worthless, she's different, she doesn't fit in, nobody will ever accept her, nobody will ever care about her, nobody will ever stand with her. And through the song, you can just hear that she's working on that rope. And that rope is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And at the very end, I mean, it's almost like she just burst out of that garbage in her mind that says, I'm not worth it, to say, you know what? I may be different, but that's my differences. And I'm still lovable, and I'm still acceptable, and I'm still, you know, able to be strong, even when you say I can't be, you know. And I see a lot of kids struggling with that very thought. You know, they go to school, they hear stuff, you know, bullies, whatever, you know, and then it starts to eat at them, you know, and then when I get to hang out with them, you can just see the sadness on their face. You can just see that those words are starting to penetrate. So I try to share with them what I think that they look like. You know, there's a young gentleman, I told him, I said, you know what? I think you are going to be such an amazing leader of your community. I think people 20 years from now are not only going to know who you are, but they're going to want to be around you. And he was kind of like, oh, yeah, right. But I just tell him that all the time. I'm like, you know what? You are a leader. You know, the kids on the bus, they look at you. They run by your example. I just love it. And then there's another girl on the, oh my gosh, I wish I could bring her on here and show you some of the projects that she's brought home from school. It's just amazing. She's going to be a brilliant architect. And I tell her that all the time. I said, these things are amazing, you know. I'm waiting to see your name on a skyscraper one day. And it's just, you know, you make that connection with people and you try to put positive connections in their life and you try to reinforce them, you know, so that way at least when they lay their head down at night, you know, and they're thinking about the struggles of the day, it might be like, man, that sucked, man, that sucked, man, that sucked. Hey, I really enjoyed that comment. Thank you. Man, that sucked, man, that sucked, man, that sucked. If we can start putting positive dots and positive moments into people's lives, you know, just speaking truth to them, you know, because everybody has a purpose. We're not just here to be, you know, some of us, you know, have a purpose, and some of us are just to be the downtrodden. That's not the case at all. We all were born to have a purpose. We're all born to have moments with each other. You know, just like It's a Wonderful Life. I love that moment at the end when George Bailey finally realizes of how much of an effect he had on other people in his own life, because he stopped looking at all the negative that was coming in and the bad situation that he was in, or so he thought he was in, you know, and started taking a look at the broader picture, and instead of seeing the problem, he saw the people. And he saw the people coming in, running in to help him. You know, to say, you're in trouble, you helped me, you connected with me, now it's my turn to connect with you. And it's just a profound example of, you know, and he says, no man is a failure that has friends. And that's true, that's absolutely true. You know, we can't just be islands unto ourselves. We've got to go out and make connections with people. We've got to break bread with people. We got to go out and make friends. You know, we should have more friends in our lives than strangers in our lives. I think that's very true. We should have more friends that we know than strangers that we don't know in our lives. You know, we should be able to go up and say, yep, I know that guy. Yep, I know that girl. Yep, I remember when I talked to him 20 years ago. Now look at him. He's out here being radical, changing the world for his community and for humanity. Yeah, I know that girl. She made awesome projects in high school. Now look at her. She's building the tallest building in Chicago with her name on it. You know, people are coming to her, asking her to build buildings for them because she had that in her, and somebody once told her that she can do that. You know, and that's the connections that I like to make. I like to tell people, yes, you can. Why not? Sometimes I just put a sign up on there and it says, why not? And people are like, what does that mean? I'm like, what's your dream? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? And they tell me, I said, why not? Why not? And if it's something that you decide later that maybe this just isn't for me, but I don't know if I can try something else, why not? You know? That should be the basic fundamental question we should ask people when they come to us with their dreams and their aspirations and their concerns. And why not? Why not? You should, you know, because then that feeds into the question of, well, maybe I can. You know, instead of saying, yeah, I don't think that's good for you. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that doesn't look, you know, very promising, because then what it does is it kills opportunity. It kills connection, because now they've disconnected from their dream, and now they've settled for trying to figure out what else they can do, because everybody has a dream. Everybody has a desire. I had like 14 of them when I was a kid. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be a veterinarian. I wanted to be a doctor. Shirley got the handwriting for it. But that's about the only thing I had so many different dreams. And growing up, I didn't have that positive influence. I didn't have people that said, hey, you know what? That'd be awesome. Go for it. Try it. You know, I will be here to help you in any way that I can. And it's just disheartening to see these kids with these dreams and these hopes being dashed because somebody else is feeling bad because their dreams didn't come true. So now they want to pour that negativity onto somebody else so that they'll pour that negativity onto somebody else. And then we're stuck with just a bunch of negativity. I choose to be positive. I choose to try to infuse as much positivity into people as I can, you know, and hopefully it sticks. Hopefully some of it sticks, and it's just fun when the light bulb goes on. When you see a young person that you're talking to, and you've been talking to them and been talking to them and been talking to them, and finally all of a sudden they say, you know what, you could be right, you know, and it's just amazing, because then you just see that connection come back, and then you start to see the eyes and the mind work of, okay, how can I actually put this together? How can this happen? And I've just seen countless times situations reverse themselves mentally, physically even, spiritually, you know, just by people just encouraging people, just saying, hey, you know what? Let's figure this out together. Let's have some fun. I'd love to learn about architecture to help somebody figure it out. I would probably be lost after the table of contents, but you know, it's still fun just to walk with people and to see each other and to just encourage each other, you know, and it's just fun. I love it. I'm not going to stop doing it, and I hope I've encouraged you guys to not stop doing it either. If you're doing it, wonderful. Keep doing it. Keep encouraging those people in your life that are struggling with stuff, you know, or not even struggling, but that are succeeding. You know, just keep encouraging them. Keep being their trumpet for them, their trumpet section. Just keep, you know, rolling it on and just keep pouring it on them and just, you know, help make their rope tighter, you know. When we hook arms together, you know, it's like that old game, Rover, I don't know. Red Rover. Whoa, you know Red Rover?
Yeah, I play it.
Yeah, Red Rover when I was a kid, you know, and they would lock arms with each other, and I mean solid. And then that kid would take off like a rocket. Boom! Most times he couldn't break through. Why? Because we were connected. And we were not only just connected, we were connected with a mission. We were connected with a purpose. We were going to make sure that the guy on the right side of us and the guy on the left side of us were strong enough to not break through, or to not allow anything to break through that line. And that's what we should be. We should be that connection for people. We should always have our arms interlinked with each other, so that way when negativity comes and hatred comes and evil comes, because yes, there is evil in the world, we can say, not today, buddy. We are connected and you're not getting through. This one belongs to us. We are a community. We stand with this one. We love this one. We will encourage one another. And it's just amazing. You know, it's just amazing to, when you get to experience that with other people, and then you can be like, man, that was fun. Let's do it again. You know, when you start to beat negativity in your life or somebody else's life, and you start to see that love flowing, it's just amazing. It's like, man, I want to do it again. Let's go do it. It's like a rush. It's like, let's do it again. Let's go find somebody, you know. It's just amazing. So yeah, I'm thankful that you guys tuned in today. I'm gonna go out and enjoy the weekend. I'm gonna have a nice night with my wife, hanging out, you know, hang out with some buddies tomorrow night at Portillo's. I'm excited about that. I'm a big hot dog guy. I love hot. I can eat about 2. I always go there thinking, my wife always shakes her head at me too, because every time we go there, I'm like, I think I'm gonna try 3 today. And she's just shaking her head at me. And I get there and I eat 2. I'm like, man, I'm so glad I did not get 3. But anyway, I love them. So anyway, get out this weekend, you know, make some connections, help make somebody's rope stronger. You know, just go love on people. Put as much positive influence out there as you can. Lord knows there's enough negative out there. We can surely try to put some positive out there and just get people's eyes brighter and their hearts lighter, and just love on them. Until next week, this is Hillside. We love you. Take it easy, guys. Have a great weekend. Well, actually a great week, because it's Sunday night. I keep forgetting it's Friday, but have a great week. We'll see you next week.